So guys, welcome back to another live session, and it is a Friday, which is very nice to end off the week. We do have a bit of news that I want to go over within today's session. We have quite big news that's happening later today, and then obviously we got the most important charts to look out for, as well as we're going to look for some trades. So if you enjoy this content, make sure you like and subscribe, and for future videos like this. Okay, so let's get straight into it. Let's talk about the news. So today we have core PCE price index. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, it basically measures the change in price of goods and services purchased by consumers, excluding the food and energy industry. So if the actual is greater than the forecast, so if the actual is 0.7 and we know that the forecast is 0.4, that means it's bullish for the dollar, which means that crypto could potentially go down within today. And obviously when I go over the charts, it is looking quite bearish on the higher time frames, but we will be discussing that in detail. As well, we have personal income and personal spending at similar times, but it's more the PCE that's going to affect the price today. So just be aware of obviously this level, and you know what time that's going to be. It's at 3:30 p.m. South African time. So just be aware of that. And that is pretty much all the news that we have today. We do have a bit of exciting news over here. So crypto exchange Coinbase, right, launches the Ethereum L2 scaling network called Base. So essentially what they're doing is they're jumping on the Phantom train. So they're doing something similar to what Phantom's doing, and they're joining competition of the Ethereum L2 scaling projects such as Polygon, Arbitrum, Optimism, Loopring, Starknet, and others. So yeah, this is obviously quite bullish in terms of, you know, the scaling ability of you know, the industry. So just be aware of, you know, there is a lot of stuff happening around the world, and obviously with a lot of different projects coming out within the bear market. So this is the time to accumulate. So let's get straight into what the market's looking at. So we're going to go straight onto crypto bubbles, and let's take a look at the daily. Okay, so the daily, you can see that yesterday was kind of mixed. So a lot of coins went down and a lot of coins went up. So yesterday, the market, obviously the altcoins gained a bit of momentum, and the Bitcoin dominance obviously lost a bit, and I will be talking about that within the charting. But you can just see that, yeah, it was kind of mixed within the day. So let's take a look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour is looking a bit more bearish than bullish, and then obviously the 15 is looking a bit more bullish. So let's take it straight to the charts and see what's happening here. So Bitcoin, I just want to speak about Bitcoin on the higher time frame. The higher time frame is indicating that we could potentially have hit our bottom, right? So looking at this chart here, this is on the weekly time frame, we have very important levels here. So we have this level, I'll highlight it. So this zone over here at the bottom, the 9th of December, the 3rd of December 2018, that was our bottom. Then we had another bottom in 23rd of March 2020, and potentially another bottom that happened, you know, the 21st of November 2022. So very, very important. And what tends to happen after we bottom, we tend to drive up and we consolidated. So we consolidated over here for 28 days after, you know, when price came down. Then over here we consolidated for 70 days, which is 2 times, you know, 28 days. So then if we say 2 times 70 days, you know, we should get around about 140. Okay, so 140 days would be around about here, which is at, you know, the 12th of June 2023, which is potentially where we can see maybe a bounce. So I think within the next couple of months we might just see a bit of consolidation. And yeah, I mean the weekly is looking quite bullish. Looking at this chart here on the weekly, you know, the problem is we didn't break these highs here. Okay, so I'll highlight this a bit clearer. We didn't break these highs. Let's make this bigger. Okay, so these were our previous weekly highs over here. These were our previous weekly highs, and what's happening now is we're getting rejected off those highs. If this next weekly candle in 2 days closes above here, if it closes above this level at, you know, 24,300, well then we'll be stacking in longs, because that would confirm a breakout to the upside, and that's when we'll possibly come back to around about, you know, 29k. So very interesting what's happening here. Bitcoin's obviously struggling to break this level, and we'll have to take a look at the smaller time frames to see what's happening. So Let's take a look here on the 15-minute for Bitcoin. These are the levels I have drawn out. I'll start on the 4-hour and then I'll break it down. So on the 4-hour time frame, what can you see? Well, you can see that price was getting rejected once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times off this 25k level, right? And then what actually happened, we broke down, came up, retested this level and coming back down. So, at the moment, we have a lot of candles of indecision, okay? So you can see on the 4-hour, it's kind of just ranging. We're kind of just in this range over here. It will make more sense when I go in the lower time frame. But this is our general range. So from 24, 300 to 23, like 700, okay? So this is the general range. We need to break above or below it in order for us to potentially look for positions. But I do spot something on the 30 minutes here and the 15. And what I do spot is we do have this triangle pattern, okay? So you can see in this pattern here, what is price doing? Price is getting rejected off these levels over here. And it got rejected off this morning. And then obviously over here at the bottom, we're getting some support getting formed here. And keep this in mind that we have a horizontal support over here that has been holding, right? I've pointed to it. So this zone over here is our current horizontal support, and it matches up with our upward sloping support line, okay? So, at the moment, what I would want to do is I would want to look for positions once we obviously break above the zone, okay? If we break above the zone, we could potentially look for something like this, right? Where price comes back up to 24,300. And what I'll be looking at here is something like this, right? Let me just get out my tool. Over here. Okay, so we need to establish where we would want to enter. So we need a break of the zone, come down, retest from where? From a previous resistance line, okay? So I would want to retest trade around about here, okay? Is our local support and resistance. So I'll be looking at longing on the breakout here, but I'd wait for a retest, okay? But at the moment, you can just see we're trading in a range that we can't really touch. And this range that we can't touch is the reason why we're not going to be trading, right? So this is what I'll be looking at. Once we get a break of this triangle to the upside, I'll be looking at longing back up to 24,243, back up to there. But if we get a break below this line over here, right? If we break below here, then I'll be looking at potential shorts back down to 23,500, okay? So there's two potential trades that I'm looking at right now. Two potential trades, but I will be catching both of them on the retest rather than just entering straight on the breakout, because it could potentially be a fake out to the upside or the downside. But looking at Bitcoin, I mean, we can see now it is looking a little bit more bearish. Like if you're looking on the 4-hour, let's just take a look at the daily quickly. Let me just remove all the drawings. You can see on the daily, right, we closed bearish, and we still haven't tested these lows at 23,500. So we could potentially still come down here today to 23,551, a very important level to look at. So that's where I'll be targeting if this level gets broken on the 15 minutes here. Okay, so we have two potential setups that we're looking at. We're looking at a potential long, and we're looking at a potential sell. The sells would be more valid just because on the daily time frame we are bearish, but obviously if this gets broken to the upside, we can look for longs, and that is what we will be looking for, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much Bitcoin analysis. So I would be looking at these levels. If you guys have any levels, yeah, nice to meet you, Victoria. So yeah, if you guys have any other graphs that you want me to go over, any analysis that you would like me to do, put it in the comments and then I'll go over them for you guys. So that's Bitcoin. These are the trades I am looking at. So I'll go over it one more time before I look at Ethereum. We will be looking at this, right? We break over here, come down, then we get the retest trade back up to here. Same with here, break below, come down, and get a retest back down to over here. Okay, so two potential setups that can potentially happen here for Bitcoin. Filecoin, I am looking for a short. I did take a short earlier and hit my take profit one. I took it over here, so I'll show you on the 15 the reason why I took the short. We closed below. We closed below here, took it, hit my TP1, and then I got out. But at the moment, what I'll be looking at for Filecoin on the 1 hour, okay, so on the 1 hour chart, you can see that we grab liquidity to the downside. So I still think, Filecoin could potentially come up here and come back up to these levels, 7.925. Okay, so obviously the sell that we caught earlier was, a very short move, but now it looks like we grab liquidity. You can see by the wick, and we coming back up here. So Filecoin, we can't really do much here. What we'll be looking at is, we'll look for bars back above here if it closes back above this level. So I'll be looking for bars above 7.959. Okay, something like that, right? We can take this away. But yeah, at the moment, we can't really do much. But yeah, let's take a look at some other coins here. Yeah, let's just change this. So on the 15-minute, let's take a look at, let's use a 4 hour here. Okay, so Ethereum, very interesting what's happening with Ethereum here. Okay, so you can see with Ethereum, we are trading within this ascending channel here. Okay, so you can see price has just been trading between this channel. Obviously broke down, hit the support, came back up, and then came back down. So like essentially on the 4 hour, we still in a semi uptrend here. As long as we don't break below this level over here, it's around about 1610, then we should carry on coming up. But if we break below 1610, we would be looking at shorts back down to this level, 1520, okay, slash 1490. So very, very important level to watch out for here. But yeah, this is a setup that I will be looking at, a potential short back down to this level at around about 1491. But yeah, let's take a look at the smaller time frames. This is on the obviously the higher time frame, the daily. You can see that, Ethereum on the 1 hour. Okay, so same with Bitcoin. We're facing this over here where price has just been bouncing off these levels. Same with over here. So looking at a breakout above the zone or a break below the zone in order for us to look for positions. But yeah, at the moment, we need to see some type of break of structure or break of this this triangle pattern here. So Bitcoin and Ether looking very similar. But yeah, I'll be looking at something like this, right? We're gonna break above here. Let's just say we break above here. Then I will be looking at longs, but I'll be waiting for a retest. So we come back down and then target these highs at the top here. Okay, so I'll be targeting these highs at around about 1670, back up to around about these levels. Okay, so at the moment, Bitcoin's still, it's holding this level, but it looks like it might be breaking out soon. And so does Ethereum. So we need to just keep an eye out on these levels in order for us to take potential trades. Okay. So I'll be looking at longing around about this zone over here. Okay, back up to 1671. And then essentially my stop loss would have to be below whatever my previous wick would be. So what I mean by that, let's just say we get a candle to close just below here, and then we close above. Then my stop loss would be below that previous candle. Okay, and then I'll be targeting areas such as 1672. And then obviously for the shorts, we'll have to wait for a break below here. Okay, essentially this would be more of a ideal situation, because what can happen here for Ethereum is what we can just come back down to this zone and then maybe potentially look for longs. So we would have to wait for a break below this area for shorts. Okay, so there's two scenarios that can happen here for Ethereum, and at the moment, we have to wait for the break, and you can see we haven't broken anything as of yet. So we'll have to wait and see. Very interesting at the moment what's happening though. we have to see some type of structure break. But yeah, if you guys have any charts that you want me to go over, just put them in the comments. We can go through them for you guys. And yeah, I will be going over some of the charting that I have been doing. We'll take a look at Solana first. So looking at Solana, very similar to Bitcoin and ETH here, we have very, very clean levels. So we have this level over here at around about 23.69. Once we break below there, we can be looking at targeting this area at around about 23.35. okay, so that is a drop of around about 1.5%, but we will be looking at that for potential short positions, because at the moment you can just see how price has just been holding this level, and it's been holding in the past. So we can see we've always got a bounce from the zone. So once we actually break below this area on Solana, we can look for sells back down to 23.35. So yeah, on the daily we're also looking quite bearish here. I mean, I was essentially looking for this. It can still definitely happen. It just might take a couple of days or a week or weeks. But once we break above 27.28, I'll be looking at longing back up to 37 and 60. Okay, but obviously we're not there at the moment, so we will be looking for other positions here, and these positions that I'm looking for would be potential shorts. Okay, so a potential short below here, back down to 23.35, and then a potential, our long positions would have to be above this area here. Okay, and the reason why it's this area is because we have this level of support over here, then we turn into resistance, came down, hit the resistance again, came back down, and then closed above the zone, and we came up. Okay, whenever we close above, we tend to come up. We closed above, we came up. I didn't close above, came down. Didn't close above, came down. Okay, so interesting stuff that's happening at the moment. I am looking more for shorts. You can see Bitcoin is getting rejected off this level, so shorts are more in my mind at the moment. So yeah, but obviously we'll put a long position here just in case price actually comes up to this zone. Okay, but at the moment, we'll be looking at targeting 23.31 for Solana here. Yeah, so looking like things are coming down here for Bitcoin and ETH, coming down a bit harder. So yeah, we'll have to see what ETH does here. If ETH breaks below here, we'll be looking for a short at 1638, back down to around about 1620. Okay, so very interesting stuff at the moment. Yeah, you can see how Bitcoin is just getting rejected off this area. Very, very interesting. So yeah, definitely looking more for sells here. And yeah, that's pretty much that for Solana. If there's any other coins you want me to go over, just put them in the comments. We can go over them. I will be going over any suggestions that you guys have in terms of coins here. Looking at Litecoin, let's take a look at Litecoin here. Yeah, so for Litecoin, still looking for these sells below here, back down to 88. But that hasn't really happened yet. We're still struggling to break this level of support here. So we'll highlight this level of support because you can see how we've been bouncing off this level. Okay, so let's take a look at the lower time frames. Yeah, I'll be looking for sells actually below here for Litecoin. So I'll be looking for potential sell positions below 93.75, back down to areas such as 92.4, which is around about a 1.42% gain, which is quite nice for a short trade. So yeah, at the moment, it is looking more bearish and bullish. So we do need to be aware of what the market is showing us, right? So the market's showing us a bit more bearishness. So this is why we look more for shorts. And you can see Ethereum's trying to break out of this level in order for us to look for shorts. Bitcoin also getting rejected like we expected to. So we're only going to be looking for longs if we break above here. And then obviously if we break below here, we'll be looking for short positions. But yeah, that is the current setup for Litecoin. We still have to wait for the 1 hour closure. So there's still 40 minutes in order for us to take positions. Yeah, nothing too crazy. But yeah, if you have any other suggestions, any other coins you want me to go over, just put them in the chat, and I'll definitely go over them for you guys. Let's take a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin's been taking a hit. So at the moment, you can see there's a very, very strong support level over here. So I'll be looking for sells below here, definitely for Dogecoin. Sells below there. Okay, so this is what I'll be looking at for Dogecoin. Sells below 0.08394. Okay. Sells below here, and then I'll be looking at targeting around about 0.8322, because that is our next recent support, and I would expect a bounce from that zone. So it's quite a short move. It's only around about 0.86%, but it is something that I will be looking at for Dogecoin. So yeah, keep this in mind that these are the trades that I'm looking for, and there's a lot of moves that can happen within the next couple of hours. And just remember that we do have news, right? I did go over this earlier. We have that PCE core price PCE index month to month, so we're going to be expecting quite a bit of volatility at 3:30 South African time. And obviously if you're in a different time zone, then you would have to work it out. So it's SAT 3:30 p.m. But yeah, at the moment, we can't do much. There's not much we can do. The reason why we can't do much is because price is either trading above resistance or support or below, right? So we need to wait for the breaks of those levels for us to get into the market. But yeah, let's take a look back at crypto bubbles while we wait for some suggestions from the chat. If you guys have any suggestions, put them in the chat. We can go over any of the charts that you would like to go over. So on the 5 minutes, you can see a lot more red than green. So this obviously indicates that price may come down a bit further. We do need to see over here the hourly is up. Pretty much all cryptos are up on the hourly, but the 5 minutes and the 15 are looking a bit more bearish than bullish at this current time period. A lot more bearish signs over here, so we do need to keep that in mind. But obviously, whatever the chart tells us, we will be looking for that. ETH is getting rejected off the zone. So let's take a look at the 5 minutes here. If we draw this line a bit better on the 5, we can see that there is a lot more over here. Okay, so price obviously came down, hit this upwards loading support line, and then obviously bounced from this level. Okay, yeah, so it's just basic market structure where price hits a support level, and we get a reaction. So we were expecting that to happen. Otherwise it would have broken out and then come down to around about 1637. So I mean, we still be looking for potential long positions back up here, but alternatively, if it comes down, we'll be looking for some sell positions, to potential areas. But yeah, at the current time, we are just being patient and waiting for a setup to happen. Yeah. Let's take a look at, you can just see that we are down let's refresh the page. We are down 1.24% for the day. Not much has really happened today. Not a lot of volume in the market, but when New York session comes, and then obviously news that happens, that obviously will bring a lot of volume in the market, and you'll see price start to go one direction. Yeah, so Bitcoin also just struggling to break this level. You know, once we get a break above here, we'll be looking at longs. At this current time, you know, we can't do much. It needs to break above this zone, but you can just see how price has been respecting this level over here. So once we get a break above here, we'll be looking at long positions, back up to 24 to 40, and then alternatively looking for sell positions below there. Same with ETH. ETH is a bit higher up. ETH, we have to wait for the 1653, just because of how the market is showing me that, you know, we need to break above this level. There's a lot of liquidity at the zone. You know, potentially could just get a reaction from here. Price can just come up and then come back down. So we needed to close above this level in order for us to look at long positions. But yeah, this Bitcoin trade is what we were looking at the current moment. So we need to break above this horizontal line, and we need to break above this line. And then what will happen here, if we come up here, we'll be looking at getting the trade like this, right, on the retest back up to this zone. Something like that, okay? So it will look like this, where we will be entering there. But at this moment, we can't do anything. If you guys have any suggestions with charts, put them in the chat and I'll go over them for you guys. But yeah, at the moment we're just waiting for this trade to happen. But the thing is, we're gonna have to wait. It will only be in the next hour or so, because of the fact we want the retest. Because potentially what this could be is just a fake out to the upside and then come back down and close below here. So we need price to so I'm looking to long Bitcoin at 23.9, like 930, around about there. But we need a closure above here. So what I mean by closure, we need this candle, this 15 minute or the 30-minute candle, to close above this level, because at any moment of time, price can just get rejected at the zone. So we needed to close above here and then, you know, look for a long position. So essentially what I'm waiting for is this level to break, but at the moment we're not seeing any break. So I'll let you know, though. It would look something like this, right? Like I said earlier, it would look something like this. Price comes up, and then we'll look at a long position there. So we'll be looking definitely for a position on Bitcoin, but we needed to close above here, and then we'll catch it on the low there, because that is our next resistance area. Okay. Can see someone said Filecoin, LTC, and Doge. I just went through Dogecoin. I'm looking for shorts for Doge below 0.8394. I'm looking for shorts back down to 0.0832. But we need a candle to close below there in order for me to look for positions. But at this moment, market isn't really giving us anything to work with here. Okay, getting rejected, so that's why we look for shorts. See, our price comes up to an important level, and then what happens? We get rejected. It's something that happens pretty much every day, and the more you're in the market, the more you'll see it. So we knew that this level was important, right? So that's why we need a candle to close above there. If we don't get a candle to close above there, then we're not going to look for the position because we know that's the area of rejection. So yeah, we could potentially come down here. So Dogecoin, looking at shorts below here. Filecoin, let's take a look at Filecoin. Filecoin looking for sells. Yeah, I'm looking for sells below here. If this next 15-minute candle closes bearish below here, I'll take sells. I did take a sell earlier back to TP1 earlier, but I will be looking at re-entering sells here. Back down to stop loss would have to be above this. So this is what I was speaking about earlier, where your stop loss would be. Your stop loss would be above your previous candle wick, okay? So your previous candle wick is at 7.751. So you would have to put it above there. So if this next 15-minute candle closes bearish below here, I'll be taking sells back down to 7.516. Yeah. Yeah, so Filecoin, we're looking for sells. Bitcoin sells. ETH, we're looking for sells. Yeah, that's pretty much that. But obviously, Bitcoin, we need a closure above 23,922 in order for us to look for long positions back up to 24,000. Sure, Jared, I'll go over Phantom. Let's take a look at Phantom. Yeah, Filecoin, we're only going to get in here if we get a closure below here. If we don't get a closure below, then we're not going to get in. But let's take a look at Phantom while the market sets up for something. Phantom over here. Phantom is doing quite well today. Interesting. I don't really trade Phantom too much, but let's take a look at this. Yeah, so these are the levels that I've drawn out from a while ago, but they're still valid. They're still respecting very well. So we had sells below here. So we have a new level at around about 0.486. So this is our local support, okay? Our local support is this level. So in order for us to look for positions, we're going to have to look for sells below this zone, okay? Yeah, once we close below here, we tend to drop down. So I'll be looking for sells below 0.48664. Sells below here, back down to so this range is 9%. Okay, that's very interesting. I didn't think it was that big. Very big range. It's a very big range for Phantom here. The Phantom can drop a lot. So be aware of this. This could be a potential nice trade to take where you would have to take partial profits on the way down. So you want to be taking profits where at support levels. We have a support level over there. So I'll just make this a different color. So this is take profit 1. And then take profit 2 would have to be over here. And then the rest of it you would have to leave running. But yeah, definitely sells below there. Bitcoin, still coming down. Yeah, just remember this Phantom one. If you're trading this Phantom one, I would suggest using lower leverage because the percentage play is way higher. So we have a 9% play. So if your stop loss would have to be a bit higher. So your stop loss would have to be around about 1 to 2%, depending on your where the candles are closing below or above. But yeah, your risk to reward, just make sure you're looking at your risk management for this, because if you're using high leverage here, it may stop you out just due to how much Phantom moves, because this move over here can potentially be 9%, but it could also go the other way. So you need to just manage your risk for that trade. Bitcoin still holding this level. We're still waiting for a break above 23,923. Not much is happening. Let me just duplicate this tab so we have more charts here. Let's take a look back at Filecoin. I was seeing something there. Filecoin is coming down. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what I'm looking at for Filecoin. Okay. Very interesting. So this is 1 hour candle closure. We need this 15-minute candle to close bearish here. If this 15-minute candle closes bearish, I'll be looking at sells. Would have to close below here though. I'll be looking at sells below here rather, because you know that is our local support. We had support over there that was formed on the 22nd of Feb. Support, you know, that was formed 23rd of Feb, and then today we found support there again. So in order for us to carry on going down, what needs to happen is price needs to break that support. Otherwise, we're just going to keep on bouncing, right? We're just going to keep on bouncing to the upside. So if we're looking for sells, we need price to actually break levels in order for us to take those sells back down to certain levels, because essentially what can happen is price can just react at a level and then go to the upside. So then why would you look for sells? The only reason you're looking for sells is if you get a candle to close below a certain level. So, you know, that's what we're going to be waiting for here. And on the 15, it's clear that once we close below here, we're going to tap into, you know, the TP1 and then TP2. So, yeah, just be aware here. Also, Filecoin, just make sure, you know, you're using low leverage. Moves a lot. Same with Phantom. But yeah, at the moment, you know, Bitcoin's kind of just bland. The whole day, Bitcoin's done nothing. It's pretty much just ranged around about, you know, 0.5% the whole day. So like to trade Bitcoin today, it's kind of, you know, you can't really do much because of the fact that it's only moving within a 0.5% range. Okay, 0.5% range is not a lot within the day. So, you know, once we break out of this 0.5% range, you know, there's going to be a lot of volume because we have buyers, you know, we have buyers sitting at these levels and we have sellers sitting at these levels. So once the sellers get knocked out, then the buyers step in. Once the, you know, the buyers get knocked out, the sellers will step in. So more volume would obviously come at those levels once we get a breakout, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, at the moment, we're going to be waiting. But yeah, these are the setups that I'm looking at. You know, not much else that I'm looking at right now. Filecoin's coming down here. You know, once we break below here, I'll be looking at these sells. The 5 minutes, you know, looking bearish. 15 is looking bearish. 30 is looking bearish. The 1 hour is looking very bearish. We might tap back into these lows. And that is what I'm looking at here. 4 hour, you know, we're looking bearish. 4 hour already tested these previous 4 hour lows. So we've already tested these previous 4 hour lows, and we could potentially test the low at the bottom here. That's why my TP2 is down there, right? So yeah, we're only going to take in these sells once we get this 15-minute candle to close below here, back down to 7.515. Okay. So it's around about a 2% gain using 10 leverage there. That would be 19 to 20% gain, which is very decent, right? And yeah, that is what we're looking at. Bitcoin also looking at, you know, this bars, looking at bars above here, and then obviously sells below 23,750, bars above 23,922. Like I said earlier, Bitcoin hasn't done much today, trading in this 0.5% range since 6:30 this morning, which obviously, you know, for us to trade that, it makes it hard. So we need to, once we break above or below certain areas, it will give us more opportunity to grab a position. Any other charts you want me to look at before I leave over here? You know, there's still a lot of time, and so I can definitely go over any suggestions. But if you guys don't have any suggestions or questions, then I would suggest putting all of these levels on your chart and putting alerts, because this is what I'll be waiting for. Okay, and once we get one of these positions, we'll be entering the market and looking for those positions. Okay. So if you have any other charts, just put them in the comments now, and we can go over them. But we have pretty much all the charts, and the reason why there's not much, there's no volume at the moment. Nothing is happening because Bitcoin isn't doing much, right? So if we're looking at the Bitcoin dominance charts, this was quite interesting that I really wanted to go over here. So Bitcoin dominance chart broke below this trend line, right? So it is kind of a head and shoulders pattern. If you obviously study that, but you can see that we broke below. The alts kind of regained some strength yesterday, and then obviously Bitcoin dominance is starting to come up again here. It didn't create a bottom wick, so we could potentially see Bitcoin gaining more strength in the market. But yeah, that is all the trades I'm looking at. So I'll go over the trades one more time, just so you guys know the levels. So Ethereum, looking for long positions. Let me just change the color. So Ethereum looking for long positions above 1653, or looking for sell positions below 1638. Potentially looking for something like this. We get a breakout of this triangle over here, right? We get a breakout below here, or we get a breakout above there, and then we'll be looking at long. So important where the market is at the moment, because at the moment, the market is at levels of support and resistance, like Filecoin over here. We're going to be taking sells back down to 7.612 and 7.515 because of the fact that we have a support that we've been created the whole day. And once we lose this support, well, then what's going to happen is price is going to most probably come back down and test the daily lows of the 22nd of Feb. Okay, looking very bearish here. I mean, it is. And the thing is, the daily lows over here correspond with the support on the 18th and 19th of Feb. So looking very, very juicy for a short position there. Then obviously Phantom, we have a nice trade here. Very, very nice setup. It's around about 9%. Phantom can come down another 9%, which is obviously a lot. So I would be using lower leverage for this in order for us to look for short positions. But yeah, if you guys don't have any other questions, I really appreciate everyone being here. And yeah, these are the trades I am looking for. So if you want to put them in your charts, well, then you can do so. Let's just go back to the Bitcoin chart before I take off here. So Bitcoin, we're just looking for this at the moment. Nothing too special. We need a break of this level at 23,922. Once we break above there, price may come up to this zone, come back down to this level, and we'll be looking at longing. And then obviously, it has to break above that level in order for us to take positions. But yeah, awesome. If there's no more questions, well, then we can head off now. And remember, guys, we do have a lot of news today. This it's not a lot of news, it's more just the PCE. So this is the levels that price, obviously, we have to be waiting for this to come out, right? If this comes out bearish for the dollar, well, then Bitcoin will pump, and if it comes out bullish for the dollar, then Bitcoin will dump. Okay, so there's two scenarios: a pump or a dump. And we have to be aware of that. So I would suggest not trading during that time at 3:30 p.m. Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate everyone being here today. I hope you guys put all your levels in the chart. If you didn't, just rewind the video and go back to certain parts where I did do the analysis for the coins. And yeah, I really appreciate everyone being here. I'll see you guys next week, Wednesday, and then Friday. for another update, and we'll see if these potential trades played out. See you guys then.